Hello everyone. Uh, Today we're going to discuss about how you will prepare for USMLE Step 1. Alright, I'm a USMLE tutor, USMLE Step 1 tutor, and I tell my students how they should prepare, and I thought that I should tell everyone out there who are preparing for the USMLE Step 1 how they should prepare for the USMLE Step 1. Alright, as you know that USMLE Step 1, it's a long journey. Some people takes 1 year, some people takes 2 years, or some people takes 3 months or 4 months to prepare for it. Alright, so do you really need that 1 year or 2 year of your life for preparing for this exam? I will say no, you will not need. So why we take this much time for preparation for this USMLE Step 1? Alright, there's some myth or some misconception that are running all over the internet, right? And especially for the international medical graduates or the IMGs, right? Due to lack of information, we think or we assume from the very beginning of our preparation that we cannot take the preparation unless we prepare ourselves for like 1 year or 2 year or 1.5 year. All right, although it depends on your capacity of preparation, but I think most of us can prepare the USMLE Step 1 within 3 to 4 months. Alright, and now I'm gonna tell you that how we will prepare the USMLE Step 1 or prepare ourselves for the USMLE Steps 1 within 3 or 4 months. The first thing is we need to choose our resource material. Alright, keep your resources simple. Alright, simple. Why? Because at the end of the day, if you use a huge amount of resource, then you will be lost. You'll be lost unless you got a very high IQ. Alright, maybe there are some students or maybe there are some persons, and yes, of course there are, who can use a lot of resources and can remember and retain the knowledge out of those all resources. But I'll say keep your resources simple. In this case, I'll suggest to use only 3 resources. Right, only 3 resources that will help you gain or that will help you succeed in the USMLE Step 1. What are those 3? One is the first aid, and take the first aid of that year in which year you want to prepare. Maybe you are planning to take this step on 2017, and if you're planning to take this step 2017 in the very beginning of the 2017, like the first 3 months of your eligibility period, maybe within March, then you can use the 2016 first aid version. But if you're planning to take the Step 1 after 2016 in the middle of 2017, then I suggest you use 2017 first aid book, because they will collect the information from the previous students that took part in 2016 Step 1, and they will add many high yield information, alright, that might help you. So that's one suggestion. But no matter if you are familiar with very much familiar with 2016 one, you can use it in any time of 2017. Okay, the second one is, I will say that's the most important one. What is that? That's the UWorld QBank. Alright, I'm not advertising UWorld QBank, and but most of the people you'll say you'll meet, they will tell you that this is the best QBank other than the Kaplan QBank or the USMLE RX, whatever. I'll suggest the UWorld QBank. And the third one that I suggest is the pathoma.com videos, or pathoma.com videos. Dr. Sutter, he's a nice guy and he explains every pathology very good. If you don't want to read his book, that's not a problem, but if you want, and if you want to make this choice, please do subscribe for his videos. And he comes up in a very little price, maybe $100 for 3 months, and that's very cheap and for this kind of videos. All right, and if you want, you can ignore this thing, the pathoma. You can only run for first aid and UWorld. All right, but you might be wondering how you gonna use these resources. All right, because most of the people I met, they are preparing for the USMLE step 1. They tell that okay, first aid don't explains anything. First aid is just like giving you some clue about something, and every word maybe in the exam. That's very true. All right, first aid is a very compact book. All right, so how you gonna use it? All right, what are you gonna do? You got two options. Will you read the first aid first and then you'll do the UWorld, or will you read the UWorld simultaneously with the first aid? Okay, I'll go for this. All right, why? Because the UWorld will explain everything. The UWorld will explain everything that's in the first aid. Let's assume that there's 1500 topics. All right, 1500 plus topics in the first aid that we need to master, and in the UWorld you'll find like 2500 questions. All right, and it doesn't mean that there are 2500 topics. All right, it means they use like one topic and there are more than one questions from one single topic, and eventually if you finish the UWorld, you will see that you have covered like this 1500 plus topics, and you will see every topic is in the first aid, maybe some more topics than the first aid. So my suggestion is read the UWorld and then look at the first aid. As you know, it's a review book. Don't try to read it first. All right, it will be a wrong process of learning. Okay, so how you gonna read UWorld first and then go to the first aid? All right, first pick a UWorld question mode, like what I did during my prep. I used to pick a timed tutor mode, not a tutor, timed tutor mode, and I used to pick like whenever I was doing the cardiovascular. All right, cardiovascular system, and then I opened my book, the first aid first, and saw or see what is the content, or what is the what is the sequence of content in the cardiovascular system. You'll find that first they discusses about the embryology of the cardiovascular system, and then they discuss the anatomy from the cardiovascular system, and they discuss the physiology from the cardiovascular system. All right, and now what I did next, that I opened the UWorld, I took this time tutor mode, and I set a block of question. All right, one block of question, and I selected the subdivision of this embryo and anatomy, and then I selected the subdivision for cardiovascular system. All right, and then I saw that there are like 40 questions out of these two, and then I solved those questions, and also I opened my book every time I see a topic. All right, and I find that topic in the book, and I wrote every new information in my first aid. All right, then after doing the question, I read the first aid topic of embryo, anatomy, and next subsequent topics. So it helped me gain clear ideas about the topics, and as well I know the questions, how the questions are asked. All right, because remember, every time that at the end of the day, what you're gonna do, you're gonna solve question. no matter how much you read the first aid, no matter how much you read the Kaplan, or no matter how many times you solved the Kaplan tapes, that doesn't matter. It matters that at the end of the day, you're gonna, or you have to solve question for 7 long hours, right? So isn't it better to start question very early? Yes, that's better. All right, so this is the way you will do, or you will solve question, and you will review your first aid. All right, one more thing that I'm gonna tell you, that how many times you're gonna do this, or how many times you need to do this. All right, let's just assume that you wanna do, or it's better you do 2 times read of the first aid, 2 times read of the UWorld. All right, and then, sorry, just messed up, 2 times read of the UWorld, and 2 times watching of the Pathoma videos. All right, this amount of time you can divide it into 3 months or 4 months. All right, because you know, and we all know, that we need a dedicated study period. All right, dedicated study period for 3 months or 4 months. All right, because if you use more, or if you use more time than that, there's a great chance you'll be bogged down. But unless you are very sincere and very confident, very perseverant, you will bogged down if you use more times than this. So use 3 or 4 months period, and then finish this like 2 times first aid, 2 times UWorld, and 2 times Pathoma. All right, and make sure you do this thing. All right, Pathoma means Pathoma videos, only videos. All right, and UWorld, during the UWorld, one common pitfall that I faced during my UWorld solution, what I faced, that suppose I took one block of question, and in the midway I found that I did 15 questions and all 15 were wrong. All right, what I did next, I left the block, and I went out and did other things. All right, and my all day study, all period, all over the day, all the hours are lost. Don't do it, because UWorld is a learning tool. All right, UWorld is a learning tool. As I told you earlier, you will read the UWorld as a book, not as a testing module. You will use UWorld as a book. It's a learning tool. It's like your first aid. All right, it's a book. All right, so it doesn't matter how much you get on your percentage on your first pass. All right, you might subscribe for like 6 months or maybe 3 months, then 6 months or 1 year, then you will get the reset option. But if you're not planning to do this, don't do it. Just buy it for 3 months, and you know how to second pass the UWorld. All right, if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you that during the first pass, if you just this is for like if you buy the UWorld subscription for 2 months or 3 months, on your first pass, mark all the questions. All right, and in your second pass, whenever you were doing one block, maybe one random block in timed mode, unmark them. But how you gonna unmark them? There is no unmark sign. All right, what you're gonna do in your second pass, there will be this box of the mark. You'll mark it and you will unmark it at the same time, or you will finish one block and you will review the question, and you will see that every question is marked because you have marked them all during your first pass. Then just unmark them. Suppose here was the marked question, just unmark them after you finish one block. All right, then you will make sure that you will pass all the questions second time, because if you're not marking them, there's a great chance you will end up solving the same question again and again. So this is the way you can make sure you can do the UWorld second time when you subscribe for a less month than 6 months or 1 year. All right, so that's the way the thing works, and you can contact me for more information if you like. I'm a tutor of the USMLE Step 1, and I am starting a new course from November 1st 2016. I tutor over online and I use the Skype, and there will be 7 people in the group, and you can contact me. My phone number is 1-929-249-8909. I live in New York, and my email is doctorstutor@gmail.com. all right, and the first three classes will be free for anyone, and there will be only 7 people in the class, 1 group, because I am currently preparing for the step 2 CK, and I don't have many time to run more classes, so there will be only 1 session for one. There will be only 1 group. Okay, if you want, you can contact me, all right, or you can comment here or inbox me. Okay, take care, and if you have any question, you can ask. All right, bye.